Well, whether we're live or not, I'm going to say good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
And we're broadcasting YouTube live. We are also filming on the other camera in case we lose our signal or something goes wrong on this YouTube live broadcast.
Yeah, and if you see me looking a little shifty-eyed, it's because I take turns looking at both cameras.
The other thing is the sound will be a little bit different. We've got our extended mic on the iPhone because that's what we're filming with on our YouTube broadcast. So when Vicky talks, it'll sound a lot louder than when Dad and I talk because the microphone is over there.
And of course, she's a woman.
I didn't say that.
And she's the one that cooks for you, so you better be nice.
I didn't say that.
You know that old joke, God took one rib out of Adam and made a loudspeaker.
I hadn't heard that one. That's an old one. All right, so since we're kind of waiting for, does it look like some people are coming in? Kind of. Since we're kind of waiting for people to come in, Dad, why don't you give them an update on how you're doing on your recovery?
First, you want to explain that.
My recovery. Oh yeah. Well, as you know.
All right, hang on.
Explain that we're.
Vicky, stop. So we're on the patio. From now on, we've got this new patio that we kind of have set up, makeshift. We're getting it enclosed pretty soon, but right now there'll be maybe some wind noise. So sorry about that. But we're going to be creating sawdust, and from now on, all of our sawdust creating videos, until further notice, are going to be out here on the patio.
We could have a bird fly through. Could have one of our dogs come up here and jump on us. Anything, because it's all open.
Right.
And
Except
it's
it's covered.
today.
And it is a little breezy today, which
is
normally
nice.
is really good for us. Not so much when we're filming out here, but anyway, we'll just deal with it. So hopefully our signal will hold up. If the signal does not hold up, then we'll keep filming on the regular camera, and then it will be posted on YouTube within the next couple days.
It says it's
And
written.
if you see me pick this up in the lunge,
A lot of
that means
flies.
there's a fly out here
It's
someplace.
definitely flying. What were you saying?
Signal's breaking up.
Signal's starting to break up? Okay, well, it might have something to do with the wind, who knows. Anyway, all right, Dad. Now, I guess, go into your
Give it a
update.
second while we reconnect, please.
No, I'm doing fine. My health is improving. My health has been pretty good all along. Just a month and 2 days ago, I had a complete knee replacement. And so I'm still limping around a little bit, but my physical therapist says I'm just doing great. I'm walking a mile plus a day, and so I'm doing great. I'm feeling my new knee is feeling better all the time. My old knee is feeling a little bit better because I've lost about 21, 22 pounds since my operation. So that's an update on my condition. I'm 84 and I'm still here, so I'm just thanking the good Lord for that. So let's keep on going.
Okay, all right. So we've got a lot of stuff planned today, guys. First thing that I want to talk about is we had this last week, we had 2 phenomenal shout outs on signs that I made for other YouTubers. First was Peter Brown.
And the shout out is what?
Is when I make a sign for other influencers, YouTube influencers or Instagram influencers, when they broadcast and they give us a shout out, which is basically.
Yeah, I just wanted
When
to
you
just.
stop.
Huh?
So that if I get a signal, I need you to explain to people again.
Okay.
When we're on.
Okay.
So if I wave you down,
Okay. All right.
it's not right now.
So anyway, thank you so much, Peter Brown, and if you want to see the making of this sign, it's number 194 through 197.
That's our videos.
That's our videos, number 194 through 294 through 297. So we are having major connection issues on YouTube, guys. I don't know how much of this is going to come through or not come through, but if it
Doesn't matter.
doesn't,
We're just having a good time.
if it doesn't, we'll be posting it by the end of the weekend on with the camera version. So we're recording double vision here. So anyway, Peter Brown, if you see this, thank you so much for the fantastic shout out. So glad you liked your sign. And then last but not least, John Peters. I made this sign for him a while back for his property, and the videos where I made this sign was number 223 through 229. So many of you that are watching this may have come from one of these two guys. Number one, thank you for watching, and thank you for the subscribe, and thank you to these two guys big time for giving us a shout out. It was
Boy, it's a good thing my super son does all this work, because I wouldn't have a clue as to how to do what he and Vicky do. I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, you do enough. Okay, so that being said,
So now we are connected, but we are having issues, so if you wanna
yeah,
keep sticking with us, that's cool. If not, we'll have it on the
we kind of hope it lasts here long enough to
we don't
do a
even-
Q&A.
It won't even last long enough to get an explanation.
It's in and out, so that's just the way it goes.
Sooner or later, we're going to get this all lined out where we have really good broadcast capabilities, but we're still just trying different things.
Yeah, so, all right, so I'll get out of the way, Dad, and you can talk about what
You
you're
want me
going
to
to
talk
do.
about these router bases?
Yes,
All right.
I'll move, and you can have the whole bench.
All right, I'm going to get these up here on the bench for now. All right, I'm going to talk about the router base plates that we make, that I designed for the different routers. The palm routers especially. Most of the bases that I design are for palm routers, although there are a couple that I modified, made a little bit bigger. So this one is for the DeWalt 618. I think that also goes on another one, I'm not real sure. Sometimes I lose track of what goes where. And this is for the Porter Cable 690 LR and the Hitachi M12BC. Now these are bigger routers, so I made bigger plates for them. Most of the plates, however, are like these, and they're for the palm routers. And each one, there are several palm routers on the market that I haven't made bases for, but it's simply because I haven't had requests for them, or I don't have the base plate off of the router in order to know how to modify it and have the right hole pattern on there. So, if you have a palm router that is not listed on our website for the different routers that I make the plate
Okay, Dad, hold
for.
it right there. I'm going to zoom in on that so
Oh,
they can
okay, hold
they
it.
can take a screenshot and they'll know exactly what routers we make bases for currently. Don't mind all that racket. Our dogs are
climbing.
messing with
I think that's
roofing
sugar.
over there. Okay, Dad, go ahead.
Okay, have you got that online?
I got it. Yeah.
Okay, I put it down now.
Yep.
Okay. And that's a list of all the ones that I've made router bases, that I modified the bases to fit on those palm routers. Now, if you have a palm router that is not on this list and you want a base for it, then all you need, you can do one of two things. You can take the little base off of the router that you have, if it's not on this list. You can take that base off, send it to me, I'll take that base and I'll modify one of my bases so that it'll fit on your router. Or you can let me know that you want to modify it yourself. You can ask me, you can order one of my router bases with no screw holes. It'll still have the center hole, but there will be no screw holes in it. So then I'll send it to you, and then you can put your base on there, mark the holes and drill them and countersink them so that it'll fit your router. So that's two ways you can do it. You can either send me the base and I'll modify it for you, or you can order a base with no holes and then you can modify it once you get it. So that's one of the things I just wanted to let you know. And if you have, if you send me the base off of your router, then of course I'll keep that in a file. I'll go and take that into the computer. I'll keep that into a file, and then I can make more of them. So that would be my favorite way to do it. But I can certainly, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to give up your router for a week or two, excuse me, then you can just order a base with no holes. Then once you get it, you can modify it.
Okay, so I have a question.
Go ahead with your question, son.
So if they have, let's say they've got an old Craftsman full-size router, you'll do the same with that as well, whether it's
Absolutely,
a full-size
yeah.
router or the.
Yeah, any router that you had, if you want, and the thing about the bigger routers too is, on the bigger routers, the handles are generally up on the router itself, whereas on the bases that I make for you, the handles are down here where you have a little better control on it. So if you want me to make a base to fit your bigger router, that's not a problem at all. It's just that we have to communicate so that I know what router you have, and I know whether you want to modify it or whether you want me to modify it and make sure the holes line up. So that's is that an answer for your question, son?
Yeah.
You
What's the prices on those?
The prices on the bigger ones, for the bigger router bases, I only charge $35 on those. For the smaller ones, they're $25. And even if I make something special for you, I don't charge the setup time. Excuse me. I enjoy doing that in my computer, so I don't charge for the setup on it. I just charge $25, the same as if you was buying a regular base. So, what's the matter, darling?
Oh, we're just having a little connectivity problem. That's all right. Keep going.
So that's all it is. That's just, I wanted to let you know what I'm doing on my router bases. And if you have a base, if you have a router that you don't have a base on and you want one, just get in touch with me. I'll work with you on making sure you get a base for it. Do you have any other questions, son? Something I missed?
No, I think that's about it.
All right, well, I'm gonna package these back up again. And then what's the next thing on our agenda here? What are we doing next?
I'm gonna get over there and make some sawdust.
Okay, well, I'll move my stuff out of the way and put it back down below. And I'm feeling steady enough that I can get up and walk away here and let you have the bench back.
Okay.
Any other questions that I need to answer before I leave here? I'm gonna stick around while you're doing your stuff. I'm gonna stick around.
Well, we don't have a live audience right now, so nothing I can think of
I'm gonna
at
get
this
rid
point.
of this LTS.
We shut down the YouTube broadcast because I don't know what happened. Well, guys, guess what? We had another fail on the YouTube live. So
It was power though this time.
it was power, it was wind, it was a combination of things, but that's another fail as far as our live stream goes. So you guys are seeing this hopefully on Monday. That's what we're hoping for. Maybe Sunday night. Depends on how long it takes me to process it and get it all done. So because I've got to chop some stuff out, curse words and whatnot. Anyway. All right, so I'm going to get into my demo. What am I doing? Oh, yes. So you guys watch us very, very much. What did I get all over? I think Magnum slobbered on my pattern here. This is a live to ride cutout pattern. So we have oh, by the way, if you guys are watching this brand new, we got lots of videos, as you guys probably know. Thank you so much for watching. Maybe you came over from Peter Brown or John Peters. But on my demo, we have, obviously we have a website where we sell a lot of different sign carving supplies. One of the supplies that we sell are cutout patterns. And if you want to know what these are for, we actually use routers to cut our shapes. So you can go and watch videos, a bunch of them, but just a few of them are videos number 7, number 41 and 42, number 69, and number 274. And on those videos, and there's others as well, we show you how we actually use a router to cut shapes using what we call cutout patterns or cutout templates. There's also a playlist that's called template, and all of that stuff in there has to do with cutting shapes on our boards. So this particular shape is for a live to ride sign. And if you want to know what the live to ride sign is, again, lots of videos on it, but I made the live to ride sign. I was going to bring one out, but I forgot, honestly. Videos number 18 through 24, I actually make the sign from start to finish. And anyway, so you can go watch those. So this is made out of 1/2" MDF, and we use what we call template guides in your router. And again, those videos that I gave you will kind of go through that whole process. But what we've done, this, if you buy this from us, it costs $35. But we have another way that you can do it if you want this shape. We actually just recently came up with these shapes laser cut out of paper, where you can buy these for $5. And then that way you can cut your own. You'll have the shape in paper. So you can see we've got, we have like 15 different ones, right? So different shapes. So what I've done is I'm going to show you how we would cut these shapes by hand with a router. And then once you have that, you can make your own cutout template, and then you can use your template guides in your router to make these over and over and over, and they'll all be the same. But the first one, if you're going to cut it, now you could also cut it out with a scroll saw or a bandsaw if that's what you want to do. I'm not really good with a scroll saw or a bandsaw, so I'm going to show you how I cut shapes freehand with a router. That's what the demo is all about. So first things first. So this is what we're trying to duplicate right here. So I've got a blank piece of 1/2" MDF. Now what I've done is I've taken our paper pattern and I've used spray adhesive and I glued it on here. My plan was to do it right here on camera. However, that didn't work out well with wind, because the adhesive that I used is this 77 spray adhesive, and I didn't feel like eating this and getting it on the camera and whatnot. So anyway, I did it in a kind of an enclosed area where there was no wind. But my plan was really to do it on camera. Anyway, it's stuck down pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to cut that with a router. Now, oh, Dad, you forgot your water. And I need my water.
Thank you.
So, here's what we're going to do. Oh, man, you're in my chair. I can't cut on this. I got to have a chair. Hang on.
Give me a minute to stand up.
Okay, forgot about that. I just forgot about I was going to be needing that chair. Now there's another one inside. We've got another chair inside, so I think Vicky's going to get that for you. All right, that is a lot better level for me to be running the router. So I'm going to set this aside for now. And here's what I'm going to do. Now, I'm going to be cutting all the way through this 1/2" MDF, and I'm going to be doing it with this router. I hope. Man, what a debacle today. So I am using our spiral upcut bit. It's set right now for a full 1/2", but I'm not going to cut a full 1/2" all in one shot. But when I do cut through all the way through, I'm going to make it in 2 passes. When I do, I don't want to cut my bench or my rubber top, so I'm going to use what Dad calls a sacrifice piece. So this is just a scrap piece of plywood. I'm going to set my piece on there. Now, the other thing that I'm going to do is how am I going to keep that from moving? Let me show you a tool that we have used for 30 years?
40.
30, 35, 40 years. This actual gun is at least 25 to 30 years old. This is a roll adhesive that comes off of here. And I'll show you how it works.
I call it strip snot.
Yeah, well, I was kind of hoping you would avoid saying that.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, so I am going to glue this down as a temporary glue on this board. And this opens up, and it's really fragile because it's like 30 years old. And this stuff rolls off of here, and it's a sticky adhesive. And as you pull this trigger, that thing rolls, and then it transfers to the board or to whatever you want it to. I want to put my glue strip. Let me get started there. I want to put it where I'm not actually cutting through it. I want to put it all the way around. This stuff is just the coolest. And I don't know why we've never showed it before, because we have used this literally thousands of times in the last few decades.
Yeah, 40 years ago, close to 50, when I started the business, we did things a little bit different. But I used that Scotch tape.
I don't know, can you
That
see
very
that?
gun, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of move that. Wherever you see that shiny,
I got it when you.
that's a two-sided sticky tape on there. This stuff is amazing. It really is. So now I just put pressure. Hopefully this will work, since I've been talking it up. I want to put pressure. Now what we've done in the past is we've used like C-clamps and then kind of clamp it. The more pressure you can get on there, the more likely it is to stick. So I'm just going to put some pressure on there, and that should keep that thing from moving. Now, this is, again, 25 to 30 years old. As a matter of fact, not only is this gun 25 or 30 years old, that roll of adhesive is 25 to 30 years old. And it's still good. I thought it would be bad, but it still works just like it did 30 years ago. Now, what we found out is they make a newer version of this. This is the one that we just bought. We just bought this on Amazon a couple days ago. We just got it yesterday. So this is now, if you want this, I think this gun was about 50 bucks, and the tape was like 6 or 7, the roll of tape. But this is actually a much better version than the old version. It has a little bit different windings inside.
The tape on that one you got in your hand is 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
On the other one, it looks like 1 inch.
Yeah, you can buy different widths of tape.
Okay, I just wanted to let them know that.
I think you can buy from 1/4 inch to 1 inch. This was the so yeah, you can see that the roller will adapt to a 1 inch.
Exact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this came with, or I don't think it came with any tape.
And are we gonna have that on our website for sale?
It's already in the Amazon store.
Oh, okay.
It's in the Amazon store.
In our Amazon store.
Our Amazon store, which is on all of our videos, our Amazon store. So if you go through our store and buy it, disclaimer is we get a little tiny percentage. But anyway, this thing is so cool. I don't know why we've never showed it on camera before, but I don't think we have. Anyway, that's that. So let's get into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball at about 1/4 inch, because I want to cut about halfway through this board. I'm going to actually take my hat off and put on my cheaters. Where did I put my cheaters? Oh, there they are. Man, I wish we were live so you guys could ask questions, but you know how to get a hold of us. So I'm just eyeballing about halfway through. That's the way I'm going to do it. Put my glasses down here. Man, that thing sticks so well. And it's heavy enough so that the bottom piece is not going to slide on that rubber mat. So here we go. Oh, gosh darn it. I forgot. I need my dust mask. When you're cutting MDF, guys, I think it's really a good idea to wear a dust mask.
Why is it you're only cutting halfway through, son?
Because that's a really good question. So here's the deal. The more material that you cut in one pass, the harder it is to control. I've said it kind of the opposite way in the past. The less you take, the easier it is to control. But if you just think, the more material, the more wood that you're taking out, the harder it is to control that router. So if you want this thing to really be an accurate cut, my suggestion is make it in 2 or 3 cuts. I'm going to make it in 2 cuts. And this router, also because it's a palm router, I wouldn't want to take a full 1/2 inch MDF cut with this because it's not really geared to take that big of a cut, at least not in my mind. So taking a 1/4 inch at a time is no problem for this little router. So does that answer your question?
That answers my question.
Okay, let me put on my mask. Can you still hear me? Kinda? Well, you won't need to. All right, here we go. A lot of sawdust. Okay, so that's my first cut. Now what I want to do is get that sawdust out of there. Now I am actually going to go back and cut in that same groove, but you can see I kind of stayed away from the paper in most of the spots there. I want to go back now and go right to the edge of that paper at that same depth, at that same about 1/4 inch. Is that right? Okay, so now I'm pretty much right on that paper edge all the way around. Now I'm going to reset my depth to full depth. So I'm just barely cutting through into that sacrifice piece. So now I'm going to just try and stay right on that edge all the way around. feel like it cut through. Doggone, I was short. I thought that was cutting through. What happened? Well, we're gonna go around one more time, guys. Sorry about that. I thought I was all the way through. There, now we're cut all the way through. So now if you look at that edge, it's not exactly perfect, but it's
Take off your mask, please.
pretty darn close. Not too much sanding and cleanup do you have to do on there. It's pretty darn close to right on the money. And it's pretty, if you take your time and don't try and rush it, it actually makes a nice clean edge there. And then from there, let me get this mess out of the way. From there, what you would do is you can peel that paper off and make this your cutout. Now, if you go back and watch all those videos that I talked about, you'll see that we suggest that you actually make a version out of this out of HDPE, which is a high density polyethylene. Correct?
Correct.
Yes.
You can get that in a 1/2 inch. You could even get it in 3/8, but 1/2 inch is better.
Right, and that's what you really should be, if you're making a lot of pieces. If you're making more than 2 or 3 pieces, you really want to use something that's harder than MDF. This just gives you an original, and then what we suggest is you take this, set it aside, make your HDP off of this, and then take this and set it aside.
And I would never recommend cutting out like you just did. I would never recommend cutting out of HDPE freehand.
No, it's too hard.
Because the stuff is too tough, too hard. One little mistake and it will jerk on you and it'll break router bits, and it's just, we don't recommend it. Once you get a pattern made like this, then you can use that to make your HDPE pattern.
That's exactly right. So then you would take this and then you can turn that into this. Now, this is just a kind of, in case you guys know this already, you might, but if you don't, I've seen this a lot of times. We always see how this has screw holes, screws from the back. This is, when you cut this and you put this on your board, you're actually cutting from the back. So this is backwards. So that when you've cut your piece, when you hold it up that way, that's the front of your sign. So all your pattern holes are in the back of your boards. I've seen many times where people cut the ribbons or the bones or whatever, and they use the back of the sign with the pattern holes in it as the front of their sign. But they're made in reverse so that you cut them. So once you get to this point, you would want to put your screws in from this side so that it is reversed when you, it sounds kind of confusing. But anyway, everything's cut from the back. So go back and watch those videos. We talk about it a lot. That was the other thing. What am I missing, Dad?
Spiral.
Everything looks pretty good, son. Just let them know that if they make a little mistake in that freehand cutout, if they make a little mistake and they smooth it out so that it cuts a smooth piece, it doesn't really matter. The overall look of the sign is going to be the same.
Yeah.
And that just makes it theirs. It's just slightly different than ours or anybody else's, but it's still just as good a sign.
And here's another thing. This little tool is called a micro zip. We actually got introduced to these when we were in Atlanta, made by Gator. They're in our Amazon store as well. So this works really good for if you've got some spots that you wanna kind of clean up and smooth out. This is a cool little deal. We use this all the time. So that's a great way to kind of smooth out the roughness.
And a rotary rasp, small rotary rasp for your drill is another good way to dress up if you make a little error and you want to take out a little nick or something like that.
Right.
But just because you make a little error, there's a little nick in there that shouldn't be there, don't think that ruins it. That just makes it your sign, smooth it out, and nobody will know the difference.
Now, once you have your cutout pattern made, and you go to cut out like on those videos that we talked about, and you have your template guide in and your bit, and you go to cut those out, remember, go in a counterclockwise direction. I was doing this clockwise, and I could have done it the other way. I'm a little more comfortable going clockwise. But when you're cutting out pieces of your wood, whether it's pine or cedar or whatever, using this, always go counterclockwise. Otherwise, it'll drift away from the pattern, and it won't work for you.
It's called a climb cut.
Yeah, counterclockwise, climb. Right. That's what I said. Anyway, so you want to cut in that direction. Otherwise, you'll have issues with staying against your. But that's mentioned in all those videos that I talked about. So this is the spiral upcut bit. It's on the website as well. We don't sharpen these, by the way. If you have these and you're a premium member and you have free router bit sharpening, this is the only bit that we sell that we do not sharpen.
I made the mistake of telling someone yesterday that we do sharpen
Yeah,
them. So
yeah, we
my
don't
bad.
sharpen this. Everything else we sharpen, but this has got a spiral flute to it. It's just too difficult to do by hand. So you've got to either try, but the cool thing is they go for a long time. I mean, I've cut thousands of pieces, and the spiral bits just stay sharp for a long time. Clean your cutters. That's another tip.
Another thing you might mention here, we probably have mentioned it before, but once they get into cutting the actual piece out of wood, the palm routers don't take the bushings.
Yeah.
So they can't cut the pieces out with the palm router.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't anyway. These really don't have the power to be cut clear through 3/4 inch material, unless you take it in multiple passes. But anyway, okay.
Dave, you
all
want to
right.
get back over there?
Let me clean this off. You come over, and we got to do some giveaways.
Okay.
So if you have questions on that, guys, you know how to get a hold of me. All right, back to our stools, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
Ben?
Can I bring my chair and cushion over?
No,
You'll be too low. Well,
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. I'm just being an old guy.
okay.
Well, stop that.
Yeah, stop it. Oh man, I'm sorry that live.
I just kind of have to lean.
That's
I
okay.
kind of have to lean on stuff when I'm moving around. My knees still not as reliable as I'd like it to be. So every once in a while, when I stand up too quick, it acts like it's going to give out. But it's still working, and I'm still here.
It's mostly water. All right, so we're doing the giveaway for premium members, and you're going to get a push stick.
A push stick.
Somebody's going to get a push stick. All right, so
This is, in case you don't know what a push stick is, I made these, when I see this thumb, that's for making an accident on a table saw by not using a push stick to push something through. So I now have this push stick, and I don't worry about getting another Franken thumb like that. I did that on Thanksgiving Day, so it's been since last November. And it's getting pretty well recovered, but it's still tender. And I guarantee you it hurt when I did it, so.
all right.
Use a push
This
stick.
is the premium member giveaway.
So you've got, you're all set there? All right, so Dad, You need to pick a ticket out
A
of there.
premium member. Okay, here we go. I'm using my damaged thumb here to pull it out, and I've got it. Okay, the number is 112. Are you zooming in on this?
No.
Yeah, they can see it. That's close enough.
Philip Stevenson.
Philip Stevenson.
Oh wait, 112, 112. Yeah, Philip Stevenson.
Okay. Philip Stevenson.
Philip Stevenson, you get yourself a sawdust pusher and a thumb saver. I call it my thumb saver.
We'll be shipping that off to you on Monday. Thank you so much. Thanks to all the premium members. If you guys have any questions on premium membership, there's a page on the website that tells all about it, or you can email me at eric@makeawoodsign.com. I'll tell you all about it. So, here comes dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, the giveaway for our projects. So, we
We're gonna
have...
put them together. So
Huh?
first we have to do this. Here.
Okay. This is Vicky's project. Got that?
I got it.
Okay. So you guys that have been watching, you voted on which project you liked better. Is that up? Okay. Which project you like better? This one's mine. This one's Vicky's. And I don't know, something
Dave?
happened. Yeah.
Turn its glares right on there. You can't see.
That better?
No. You can, there we go. Eric,
Oh,
you too. Lean it forward. There you go.
Oh, is that better? Okay.
Yeah.
So we are going to give these away to two lucky people. One luckier than the other.
Eric whooped my butt.
So these are my votes.
Turn it, Eric. You're glaring right at the camera. There you go.
These are my votes. These are Vicky's votes.
He whooped me.
I don't know. I think you used thicker paper when you wrote
Yeah,
these.
I
See,
did.
that's what it was. It must have been. I don't know. I might have got 1 or 2 votes more than Vicky. So I appreciate that, folks. We appreciate everybody that voted. It was a phenomenal turnout. Actually, it was cool.
You draw.
So I'm going to draw mine, and you're going to draw yours.
No, your dad's gonna draw mine.
Okay.
I'm not
You want me to do mine first?
Yeah.
All right. So let me.
Go ahead and set it down. Yeah.
All right.
No, it's glaring right at the camera.
All right. I'm going to reach way down in there. Pull out one paper.
If I'd have done that, I'd have made it gold. I'd have got all the votes.
Gold. It's supposed to be red, white, and blue. I know
No,
it's
the
pink.
eagle. The eagle.
No, then it doesn't show wood. Nah, that would have looked screwy. Phyllis Teisver. Phyllis, that's our friend Phyllis. She came to the to our seminars.
Seminar, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
remember Phyllis?
Yeah.
Phyllis, I am sending you this eagle. Thank you so much for your vote. This is going to you. Oh, that's so cool. I love Phyllis. She's awesome. So that's yours, Phyllis. I'll be sending it off to you. So let me know what you do with it. Maybe you're going to make a clock or a Frisbee. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So you get to pick Vicky's. So I'll hold
Oh.
that. You get to pick Vicky's winner.
All right, I'm digging down in here with my good
You
thumb
can
this
read my
time.
writing.
All right, I've got the. Here
The
we
winner.
go. The winner is Randall. Looks like Quantant. I can't read the
Quentin Tans.
Vicky,
Not sure.
and I hate pronounce.
Acquaintance.
Huh?
Acquaintance. I think.
Acquaintance?
Randall.
Randall.
Anyway, Randall.
Randall
Hey,
Q.
Randy.
Randall Q. You got Vicky's.
You got this one.
So,
And you want to put this in your pocket
Yeah.
so you don't lose it?
I think I put the other one in there.
Okay, yeah, you put the other one in the
Well, we
pocket.
got it on tape in case I have to look it up. All right, that is it. Thanks so much, guys.
Those came out slick. They really did.
I'm
I
happy
don't
with it.
like working with resin because I did it 50 years ago, and I made tables and stuff out of fig wood and stuff, and I really got tired of it. But you guys did a great job. I just don't work with it anymore.
And I'm going to be doing more. We've got, I've got some,
I do other stuff now.
we've got some other resin projects coming up. So, anyway, I think that's it. Unfortunately, since we're not live, we're not doing a Q&A. I'm sure you guys are going to have tons of questions. So this will be posted. Let us know if you have questions. That is about it. It's probably around 10 o'clock now anyway. But Is it?
Yeah, 1 minute after 10.
Yeah. So again, we're gonna try it again next month. Make a few adjustments and see if we can get these bugs worked out. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. We'll have another video on Monday. Hopefully you'll see this by tomorrow night. See how fast I can edit it. But thanks again, guys. We appreciate it, and we will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.